Hey everyone, in this video I want to share with you some of the reasons why people pleasing doesn't work so you can use it as a way of letting go of this behavior in your own life. Because I can already make a few assumptions here. If you're a people pleaser, it's likely because you want others to like and approve of you, right? You kind of want to be accepted by other people. But people pleasing doesn't even really work in that regard. So here's one of the main reasons why. People like to basically come to their own conclusions and opinions about things. And when you engage in people pleasing, you're somewhat trying to influence people to have a specific viewpoint or opinion, which is to like you more, to approve of you. And that makes it somewhat manipulative. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad person if you engage in this, not at all. It's something that's kind of natural to some extent because we're very social creatures, so we want to be accepted and approved by others. It's an important thing for our survival. It makes sense. So you're not a bad person for this, but it is somewhat manipulative. It truly is when you get down to it because it's a bit sneaky. It's not something that, basically what I mean is, people pleasers don't usually lay all their cards on the table. They don't usually tell people that they want to be liked more and approved more. They kind of just use sneaky motives, or not sneaky motives, sneaky behavior to achieve that outcome, meaning they'll be a yes man, constantly agree with people to help, or they think that will make the people like them more. They'll maybe get those people what they believe they want, that sort of thing. So it is somewhat manipulative. So from that alone, people can kind of catch on to that. But also, if somebody doesn't like you to begin with, you're probably not going to be able to change their mind in that regard. Now, sure, it can happen, but I just mean in general, it's a bit difficult to do that. So I found in my own life that you can't really change somebody's opinion of you in that regard, at least not over a short period of time. It takes a lot of time. And ironically here, people tend to like you more if you don't care what they think of you. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous, but bear with me here. What I mean is, you'll earn their respect. If you try to be a yes man to make people like and approve of you, and you think that will work, it likely won't, because it's going to make people lose respect for you, because it makes you come off needy. And there is neediness behind people pleasing. Really, that it's rooted in insecurity. It's a need for acceptance and approval from other people. So it's rooted in neediness. Now, I'm not attacking you for this, so please don't take it in that direction. I'm literally just going over the psychology of why this behavior exists. But since there's neediness there, neediness tends to be one of those things where if you have a lot of it within you, it makes it harder for people to respect you. Just because it's one of those things that, it doesn't really garner respect on its own, because it kind of shows that people aren't able to stand on their own two legs. They need to be supported by others when they're needy. They're not able to get past the opinions of other people and just do their own thing. But when you're able to do those things, you gain a lot of respect from others. I used to be a people pleaser myself, and I can tell you, once I stopped caring so much what others thought of me, I actually started being liked and respected by others more. It's one of the ways life works in that regard, human psychology. People just like and respect others more when they know that person doesn't care about earning their approval or respect. I guess in that way, when somebody doesn't care what other people think of them, it sets other people at ease, because then they know that person isn't going to manipulate them. Because if they don't want anything from others, then why would they manipulate them? They don't care what other people think of them, so they're likely not going to do anything to try to steer everyone's opinions of theirs in a specific direction and that sort of thing. So that lack of manipulation or even manipulative intent in somebody who doesn't care what others think of them makes that person very likable, and it earns them a lot of respect. just because they're going to be comfortable being exactly who they are. And that's a very admirable thing. Authenticity is yet again another way that people earn approval and respect of others, because it shows that they're courageous enough to be exactly who they are in every moment without caring whether or not people are going to like or respect them for it. So it's kind of ironic, but when you want to be liked and respected by others, you actually achieve that more when you don't actually want that outcome. Does that make sense? It's one of those really interesting scenarios where wanting something actually hurts you from obtaining it. It holds you back. Kind of like when guys really want a girlfriend, so that neediness completely kills their chances of getting a girlfriend. It's more when guys let go of that completely and they are comfortable living their own life solo without a woman, that they're then suddenly very attractive to women and they're able to attract more of them. So this concept, it works the same exact way. You have the best odds of obtaining approval and respect from others when you stop wanting it so much from them. But also there's another aspect of people pleasing where you want to make others happier because you gain, I guess, fulfillment out of it, or satisfaction, or something like that, enjoyment. And that also doesn't work because you can't really make others happier. I mean, you can to some extent, but what I mean here is, at the end of the day, happiness is very much dependent on someone's mindset. Like I've said in previous videos, one of the easiest ways you can become happier is just to think really deeply about the fact that you exist. Try to imagine there being nothing in the universe and yet here you are. Just the fact that you exist is enough to make you happy if you really think on it, because it's freaking crazy that we're all here. So knowing that, happiness is a mindset. You can make yourself happy in any moment just from the way you think. So if somebody isn't happy in the present moment, it may be difficult to change that for them because it's so mindset dependent that it really relies on them and not anything that you do. Sure, there are things that you can do that have high chances of making others happy, but you shouldn't get into playing the game of doing that. It's not something that's super reliable, and it's usually a waste of time anyway, because other people have to find happiness on their own. You're not, what's the word? I should say, it's not your job to make others happy. It really isn't. So let go of that as well. You don't need to make everyone else around you happy at the cost of your own happiness. It just isn't worth it. So getting beyond those two aspects of how people pleasing doesn't work, now I want to jump into how you can basically work on the things that cause you to be a people pleaser in your own life. And the first thing you're going to want to do is just start putting yourself first. If there's one thing I've noticed in people pleasers, even when I was one, it's that they have a tendency to put a lot of other people before themselves in their own life, meaning they place other people as a higher priority than themselves. So that's why they're willing to work so hard to make everyone else around them happy while neglecting themselves and neglecting their own happiness. So just start putting yourself first. And before you start thinking that that's a selfish thing to do, it's not. Selfishness is where you literally only care about yourself more than other people. But you can put yourself first and still care about others. It doesn't mean you're suddenly going to become like a tyrannical, arrogant moron. No, you'll just be you, but you'll be taking care of yourself first and then helping others. That's the way to do it. It's like that airplane analogy of when the airplane is going down, and if there's a hole in it, so all the oxygen is getting sucked out and the oxygen masks fall down, they say you should always put yours on first before you help others, because that way you basically made it so you're not a liability, so now you can help others. But if you start helping others before you help yourself, now you're a liability. Now you could easily black out due to lack of oxygen and somebody else is going to have to save you. So it's better that you save yourself first and then you can save others. You want to do the same thing in your own life. Put yourself first, help yourself first, and then help others. I mean, I can tell you, I wouldn't even be able to make these videos if I didn't work on helping myself first. Because how would I be able to help you guys if I wasn't in a good place myself? That just wouldn't work. If I hadn't put in the years of working on myself, I wouldn't have anything to share with you. I wouldn't be able to help you at all. So you need to help yourself first before you help others. So put yourself first. And another thing that I have for you here is just you need to practice not caring what others think of you. And since this is one of those things that is pretty difficult to do, I mean, I've even thought long and hard on how the hell I got to the place where I'm at, because it is so interesting to try to pinpoint what makes it so people stop caring so much what others think of them. But I always come back to getting to know yourself really well is probably the main thing that helped me in that regard, because I feel like when people care too much what others think of them, it's probably because they don't know who they are. And when you don't know who you are, you're far more likely to listen to what other people say about you. Because, for instance, let's say if you don't know that you're loyal, then you're going to listen to what other people say in describing you. And if people describe you as being disloyal, then you're probably going to think that that's what you are, even though maybe you actually are incredibly loyal to the people you truly care about. But if you're disloyal to one person who's a bad person, and for good reason, if they describe you as being disloyal, you'll probably listen to them because you have never stopped and thought, am I actually a loyal person? There you go. That's just a random example of a one trait, but it holds true. The more that you know yourself, the less you'll care what others think of you, because you're going to be grounded and centered in yourself. You're going to know who you are. You're going to know what makes you, you. And that has helped me tremendously. The more I got to know myself, it made it easier to just shut off what other people would think or say about me. Because then if people described me as being disloyal or something else like that, I would listen to them and then go, is that actually true about me? Do I know that to be true? And if the answer was no, then I'd just shrug off and be like, whatever, they can think I'm disloyal. Who cares? I know that I'm not. It doesn't matter what they think of me because I know who I am. And that, in my opinion, is the most important thing that has helped me stop caring so much what others think of me. Now, of course, I don't think you can get to the point where you completely stop caring what others think of you. I think you'd almost have to be like a psychopath or have something wrong in your brain to be completely at that point. We will always care to some extent, but you can greatly reduce that extent, like greatly reduce it. You can get to a place where you only really care about people you're close with. And yes, it will still suck at times because people we're close with they're in a better position to hurt us. So that part sucks. But at least you can get it to a place where only they are able to hurt you with their opinions, or hopefully they won't, but we all know how life is. But at least you can get to a place where you can cut out the noise of strangers. Because if you care more about the opinion of a stranger has of you than your opinion of yourself, that is not a good place to be. You need to work on that immediately. So anyway, that's just what has helped me the most, is getting to know myself really well. And I've mentioned this in so many other videos, but there's a practice you can do where you literally just meditate for 5 to 10 minutes and ask yourself, who am I? And answer it as honestly as possible. And do that for as many days in a row as you can. I did it for, I want to say like 3 months or longer at one point. This was years ago. But just from doing that, I got to know myself so well that I haven't needed to do that practice ever since. So just make sure you do it consistently enough that you have a good, solid idea of who you are. And then you'll be golden. You'll be set for a while. You may have to want to revisit it every few years because we do change over time. But for the most part, once you have a solid understanding of who you are, you'll be set for a while. Now, on to the next thing. This is another important one. It pretty much ties in with putting yourself first. But you really should just start focusing on making your life better. Because a lot of people pleasers, with that tendency of putting everyone before themselves, they neglect their own lives. They start basically giving up on their dreams and other things like that because they want to please others. A great example here is when it comes down to your parents. If your parents want you to pursue the career path of being an engineer, but that's not what you want, if you're a people pleaser and you want to make them happy and make them like you, you'll go down that engineering route just for them. But what if you truly want to be an artist who paints lions and tigers? That's my own preference there because I love lions and tigers. But anyway, say in this example, you want to be an artist who specializes in big cat paintings. Awesome, good for you. But you're not going to do that because you're going to go down that engineering route just to please your parents. So don't do that. Don't place other people's opinions of you so highly that you literally give up on your own dreams for them. I see this happen way more often than I wish it would because it's really unfortunate. You only have one life to live. Like, realize that. You only get one shot at this. I don't care if you believe in reincarnation or anything like that. We can't prove any of those things. And since we can't prove them, for all we know, you get one shot at this. So treat it that way for now. Now, I'm not trying to like attack your religion or anything. I'm just saying, for all we know, you get one shot. So make the most of it. Do not let this opportunity go. You really need to maximize your time here. I'm not saying be super productive and be like an entrepreneur. No, I mean just make the most of your own life, what you want to do. Go after fulfillment and happiness, not money necessarily. That will come with time. Just make sure you have a good time, that you enjoy your life. That's what I'm getting at. I know so often when people say maximize your life, what they really mean is try to be a CEO of a company and start 3,000 businesses and become a millionaire. It's all BS. Not everybody wants to do that. So just make sure you actually enjoy what you do. And if you don't want to be an engineer, but everybody wants you to become one, have the courage to just say, no, that's not what I want. I know I'd be a good one, but that's not what I want. That's what you guys want from me, but it's not what I want. And then have the courage to go and pursue that route of being an artist and painting big cats, because then you're awesome. I'm just playing around with that example. But seriously, do what you want. Stop listening so much to others and never ever sacrifice your dreams for other people. I'm serious on that. I don't care if you meet a soulmate and they come between you and your dreams. Choose your dreams over them because you have one life to live, and I'm sure you could find another great partner for you. And really, a great partner for you shouldn't come between you and your dreams anyway. They really shouldn't. They should be there helping you achieve your dreams, not getting in the way of them. But anyway, at this point, I'm heading into ramble territory, and this video is way too long. 17 minutes, Jesus. That's too long for Instagram. But anyway, this is now officially my longest video, I'm pretty sure, so I'll end it here. But I truly hope these tips helped you for why people pleasing doesn't work and how to just get rid of that behavior, that neediness of wanting everybody's approval and wanting to make everyone around you happy. It's not worth it. Life is too short to live for others so much like that. You can live for others, but make sure you put yourself first before you do it. Because this is what I'm doing right now. Clearly, I'm trying to live for others. I'm trying to help others. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making these videos. But I put myself first before I do this. So make sure you do the same thing. Put yourself first and then help others. So it's not like you need to lose what makes you a good person. No, just make sure you take care of yourself as well along the way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if so, the easiest way you can support me is to like, comment, and share. And if you actually watched this all the way through, please let me know, because this literally is my longest video. I can't believe I've been talking for that long, but here we are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.